A single residence with 6 helipads and 600 full-time staff. A palace appraised at $5 billion that will never appear on any market. A clifftop estate so private, its owner has never been publicly identified. These are the most expensive mansions on Earth, billion-dollar properties that exist beyond the reach of ordinary wealth. From a 775-room royal fortress built in 1703 to a 27-story vertical compound towering over Mumbai, what separates a mansion from a monument is far more extraordinary than price alone. On the edge of St. James's Park, a monumental facade rises behind gilded gates. Buckingham Palace commands not just the city, but the imagination of a nation. Its 39-acre private garden is the largest in London, a landscape of ancient plane trees, sweeping lawns, and a lake where royal swans glide past the summer house. The sheer scale is almost beyond comprehension. There are 775 rooms, each with a purpose in the choreography of monarchy. Here, tradition is measured in marble staircases and velvet-draped staterooms, where golden thrones and centuries-old portraits witness the workings of modern power. Every detail is orchestrated by the royal household, an institution that operates with the precision of a small city. The annual upkeep reaches £11.7 million, covering restoration, security, and the invisible army of staff who polish, preserve, and prepare for state occasions. The Grand Ballroom, with its 54-foot ceiling and crystal chandeliers, hosts visiting heads of state, while the throne room stands ready for investitures and royal addresses. The art collection, curated over generations, lines corridors that stretch for nearly a quarter mile. Yet, for all its opulence, Buckingham Palace is both a private residence and the nerve center of the British monarchy. The Queen's private apartments remain off-limits, shrouded in secrecy, while the staterooms briefly open each summer, inviting the public to walk the same floors as kings and presidents. This balance between ceremonial grandeur and daily duty defines the palace's unique prestige. It is valued at over $5 billion, but its true worth lies in the way it fuses heritage with ongoing public service. The gardens, meticulously maintained and bursting with more than 1,000 trees, become the stage for garden parties and royal celebrations, echoing with the footsteps of guests from every corner of the globe. Maintaining such a legacy is no small feat. From the ornate gates to the hidden service tunnels, every inch is preserved not just for today, but for generations to come. The palace stands as a living symbol, a residence that transcends private luxury, embodying the ceremonial heart of a nation while quietly absorbing the daily rhythms of royal life. Above the sparkling blue of the Côte d'Azur, Villa Leopolda sits in a world of its own. Conceived in 1902 for Prince Leopold, this Belle Époque masterpiece is more than a house. It is 8 hectares of cultivated seclusion, where manicured terraces spill down a private cliff, each layer revealing another view of the Mediterranean. The gardens, a living tapestry spread across nearly 20 acres, create a sense of privacy that no urban palace can match. Olive trees, cypress, and rare tropical plants line winding paths, their order maintained by a dedicated team of horticulturalists. In spring, the scent of citrus and jasmine drifts through the air, mingling with the sound of fountains and distant waves. The villa's provenance is woven into every stone. Designed by Theodore Chasseriau, its pale facades and arched windows recall the golden age of the Riviera, when royalty and industrialists turned this coastline into Europe's playground. Over the decades, the estate has passed from Russian aristocrats to Hollywood legends and international magnates, each owner drawn by its promise of absolute privacy and panoramic views. Inside, the grandeur continues. Art-filled salons open onto marble terraces. A grand staircase, carved from Italian stone, sweeps upward beneath a domed ceiling painted with Belle Époque motifs. The main residence offers 35,000 square feet of living space, including a ballroom modeled after the great salons of Paris, and a private art gallery built to showcase works from the Safra collection. Amenities here are as extravagant as the setting. The wine cellar holds 10,000 bottles, climate-controlled for rare vintages. Below ground, a 6-car garage and service wing keep the estate running smoothly, unseen. The guest wing alone has 30 bedrooms, each with a view of the gardens or the sea. A private helipad and an infinity pool complete the sense of effortless luxury. The valuation, $1.2 billion according to Savills, reflects not just the architecture, but the scarcity of such a setting. On this stretch of the Riviera, land is the ultimate status symbol, and Villa Leopolda commands more of it than any other private estate. Here, prestige is measured not just in marble and gold, but in the quiet expanse of a garden that seems to float above the Mediterranean. As the sun sets, the villa glows against the hillside, a silent guardian of Riviera glamour and the kind of privacy that only money and history can buy. In the heart of Mumbai, a vertical palace rises above the city's dense skyline, redefining what it means to live at the summit of wealth. Antilia, the private residence of Mukesh Ambani, towers 27 stories and stretches across 400,000 square feet, an address that commands a valuation approaching $2 billion. Here, luxury is engineered upward, not outward, stacking grandeur floor by floor to create a home that operates on the scale of a boutique hotel or embassy compound. The building's silhouette is unmistakable. Glass, steel, and rare woods form a patchwork of modernist geometry, while the uppermost levels are crowned by a series of helipads, 4 in total, reserved for the swift arrivals of family and guests. These landing pads are not just a symbol, they are a necessity in a city where traffic can turn a short journey into an ordeal. From the sky, Antilia appears as a self-contained world, its rooftop gardens and skydecks offering a rare oasis above the chaos below. Inside, every detail is calibrated for both spectacle and comfort. The private ballroom glitters with crystal chandeliers imported from Austria, while the health spa spans 2 floors, offering treatments that rival the world's top resorts. There are 3 swimming pools, a yoga studio, a 50-seat theater, and a multi-level garage that can accommodate 168 cars. The living quarters are spread across multiple levels, each designed to capture panoramic views of the Arabian Sea and the city below. Running this vertical estate requires an army of staff. Nearly 600 full-time employees manage everything from housekeeping and security to horticulture and technical maintenance. Their work is invisible but essential, ensuring that every space, from the hanging gardens to the private museum, remains immaculate and ready at a moment's notice. Yet, Antilia's scale has not gone unnoticed by the public or environmental advocates. The building's massive footprint on reclaimed land has drawn criticism for its water consumption. Estimates suggest millions of liters are used each day for landscaping and amenities. Helicopter traffic brings further scrutiny, with each landing contributing to noise and carbon emissions in one of Mumbai's most crowded neighborhoods. Solid waste generation, too, has become a point of debate, as the residence produces more refuse daily than many urban apartment blocks. For Mukesh Ambani, Antilia is more than a home. It is a symbol of concentrated ambition and operational might. The property's value is not just in its materials or location, but in the way it compresses the infrastructure of an entire luxury lifestyle into a single soaring structure. In Mumbai, where space is the ultimate currency, Antilia stands as a monument to what is possible when verticality meets vision, and when private wealth is measured not only in square feet, but in the scale of the world it creates. In Los Angeles, ambition takes physical form on a scale that rivals the world's most storied palaces. The one, perched above Bel Air, is not just a home, it's a statement in concrete, glass, and water, sprawling across 420,000 square feet. Announced in 2014, and breaking ground 2 years later, the project set out to become nothing less than the city's crown jewel, a vertical estate that would redefine the limits of private luxury on the West Coast. The entrance alone sets expectations sky high. Visitors step into a 3-story atrium where a 50-foot waterfall tumbles through air and light, drawing the eye upward across floating staircases and gallery balconies. The effect is both theatrical and serene, a prelude to the scale that unfolds beyond. Here, amenities are measured not in dozens, but in hundreds. A 100-car underground garage, a sky lounge spanning 10 stories, a private art gallery, and a cinema complex with seating for 20. The sky deck, spread across 3 levels, offers an infinity pool and outdoor cinema with panoramic views from downtown to the Pacific. But the true drama of the one plays out off stage, in courtrooms and city council chambers. As construction pushed upward, legal battles multiplied. Community groups in Beverly Hills filed lawsuits, arguing the tower's height and density would cast shadows and clog traffic on already congested streets. Zoning disputes stalled progress for years, with public hearings dissecting every floor plan and setback. At the heart of the controversy was a valuation that soared as high as the structure itself. Instead of relying on comparable sales, appraisers turned to discounted cash flow models, treating the lower floor's commercial spaces as future revenue streams. By 2024, the projected value reached $1.8 billion, a figure that drew both investors and skeptics. The developer, a Swiss investment group, faced mounting pressure from city officials and rival property owners. Every permit became a negotiation, every design tweak a potential flashpoint. Yet with each legal hurdle, the project adapted, reshaping its public access spaces, refining its environmental impact plans, and recalculating its financial projections. The one story is a lesson in volatility. In ultra-luxury real estate, value can evaporate or multiply overnight, swayed by court rulings as much as by marble and glass. For now, the tower stands unfinished, its atrium waterfall flowing over empty floors, a monument to both audacity and uncertainty. In the world of billion-dollar mansions, exclusivity is never just about what money can build. It's also about what the city and the courts will allow. Behind a row of hedges in Hampstead, London, a set of wrought iron gates guards one of the city's best-kept secrets. Witanhurst, at first glance, appears as a classic Georgian mansion, its brick facade and stately columns echoing a bygone era of English aristocracy. Yet this is only the beginning. The true scale of Witanhurst is concealed, stretching far beyond what the street reveals. Step inside, and the grandeur unfolds. The entrance hall soars with double-height ceilings, polished marble underfoot, and a sweep of light that draws the eye toward a ballroom fit for a royal gala. The house itself covers 90,000 square feet, every inch curated for privacy and luxury. But the most astonishing features lie below ground, hidden from public view and even from neighboring mansions. Beneath the gardens, a subterranean world opens up. Planning records detail a multi-level basement, extending nearly 5 stories deep, excavated at a cost that rivals the construction of a boutique hotel. Here, a 12-meter indoor tennis court is tucked away, its surface flawless and silent, reserved for the owner's inner circle. A 20-car underground garage, accessible by lift, holds vintage Bentleys and modern supercars in a climate-controlled vault. The amenities continue: a private cinema with tiered seating, a hydrotherapy pool, a gym, and a wine cellar designed to hold 10,000 bottles, each space as meticulously finished as the rooms above. The process of building this hidden palace was anything but simple. Local heritage groups challenged the expansion, arguing that such a vast underground footprint could threaten the structural integrity of a Grade 1 listed landmark. Camden Council's planning committee spent months reviewing engineering reports and heritage mitigation plans. In 2013, after appeals and heated debate, permission was granted, on the condition that vibration monitors and strict preservation protocols would protect the historic fabric above. Ownership of Witanhurst is shrouded in layers of anonymity. The property is held by a private trust, its beneficiaries shielded from public scrutiny. This secrecy is part of what drives its value, the privilege of retreating from the world, of entertaining in spaces unseen by any outsider. The valuation, now estimated at $1.5 billion, reflects not just the opulence above ground, but the extraordinary ambition and engineering required to create a hidden palace beneath the city. In the rarefied world of ultra-prime real estate, Witanhurst is a masterclass in the art of luxury that is both visible and invisible, a testament to the price of privacy in a city where every square foot is contested and every secret has a premium. High above the misty coastline of Central California, Hearst Castle rises from 250 acres of rolling hills, its silhouette a vision of Mediterranean fantasy transplanted to the American West. The estate began as a personal dream, William Randolph Hearst's quest for a hilltop retreat unlike anything else in the country. Yet what started as private excess would, over decades, transform into a monument of shared heritage. At the heart of this transformation stands Julia Morgan, the pioneering architect who shaped every line and arch of the estate. From 1919 to 1947, Morgan oversaw the construction of 165 rooms, terraced gardens, and a palace that sprawls across 165,000 square feet. Her vision was as ambitious as her clients, a mix of Moorish towers, colonnaded walkways, and a grand assembly of imported ceilings, tapestries, and sculptures. The Neptune Pool, with its shimmering blue water and marble colonnades, became the estate's signature, a Roman fantasy set against the California sky. The pool alone required multiple redesigns, each iteration more elaborate than the last, until it reached its final form, 104 feet long, lined with Vermont marble and framed by ancient statues. The castle's footprint extends beyond the main house. Guest cottages, a 2,500-seat theater, and a private zoo once filled the grounds, while the estate's private airstrip and carriage houses hinted at a world where travel and luxury were inseparable. At its height, the property functioned like a private resort, with a full staff managing everything from the kitchens to the formal gardens. Today, more than 200 employees, rangers, curators, and hospitality staff keep the estate running year-round under the stewardship of California State Parks. The economics of preservation here are as grand as the architecture. With an annual operating budget near $8 million, Hearst Castle relies on a blend of state funding, ticket sales, and private donations to maintain its vast collection and aging infrastructure. Major repairs, like the climate control upgrades and structural reinforcements, draw on a dedicated $3 million fund for preservation. In 1958, the Hearst family donated the entire estate to the state, ensuring public access in place of private privilege. The property's appraised value now sits at $1 billion, a figure that reflects not just the cost of rebuilding, but the cultural weight of a landmark visited by over 750,000 people each year. Unlike the secrecy and seclusion of many ultra-luxury estates, Hearst Castle stands open to the world. Guided tours wind through the opulent assembly rooms, the gold-tiled indoor pool, and gardens where zebras once grazed. Every visitor walks the same mosaic paths as presidents and movie stars. The estate's grandeur is no longer the domain of a single magnate. It is a shared inheritance, protected and maintained for the public good. Here, the line between private indulgence and civic treasure blurs, and the economics of excess become an investment in collective memory. Hearst Castle endures as a rare example, a palace built for one, now belonging to all. In a world where a single home may command $1 billion price tag, luxury becomes a statement of possibility and power. Today, ultra-prime real estate shapes skylines and headlines, setting new records every year. These mansions are more than residences. They are symbols of aspiration, exclusivity, and the relentless pursuit of the extraordinary. The boundary of opulence is always moving. What would your dream address reveal about you?